Hey, how are you? This is Pad, author, speaker, success coach, advisor to business leaders, actors, performers all around the world. I'm here in the Grand Hotel in Brighton, UK, and I wanted to give you a quick summary of a book that I've been reading recently that I can highly recommend. It is by Lewis Howes, and it is called The School of Greatness, a real-world guide to living bigger, loving deeper, and leaving a legacy. It's a remarkable book which focuses in on some of the key areas that if you interview and talk with people who have achieved great things in life, you'll find that there are common threads to the way that they do life, the way that they look at life, the habits that they consistently put into practice in their lives. And this book is a great summary of which condenses a lot of those things in one place. So look, let me go through the chapters to start with. Chapter 1 is creating a vision. Chapter 2 is turning adversity into an advantage. Chapter 3, cultivating a champion's mindset. Chapter 4, develop hustle. Interesting one. Chapter 5 is mastering your body. Chapter 6 is practicing positive habits. Chapter 7 is building a winning team. And Chapter 8 is living a life of service. Now, these are some of the absolute pillars, lessons that we could all do with understanding a lot better in our lives, but also then putting into practice. I mean, let's look at them. Creating a vision. Nothing starts without vision, and it is absolutely key for us to get a vision. If you've got no vision in life, you're just going to be drifting and wandering with no particular sense of purpose. Lewis gives us a whole stack of things that are really, really important. Let me go to, so at the beginning of every one of these chapters, we have a Get Grounded section. Let me just start with this. It's for the vision chapter, chapter 1. It says, in this chapter on vision, I want you to dream. Allow yourself to clear your mind and look at everything as a possibility. No dream is too big or too crazy. Imagine what you'd want your life to look like if you knew you could never fail. And it goes on as an invitation for us to dream big. Why dream small? Unless you're fearful that you could never achieve it. But even that, we can deal with that. You're going to get me started. So that's great. That's one key thing that he's focusing on is the vision. So he leads into a whole series of exercises and things that you can practically get done. So you can see here the layout. Then he's not just talking about it. He's giving you lines and space for you to get a pen out and actually start writing some of these things. So exercise number 4, your personal statement plan. This exercise is designed to bring you everything about your vision together into an action plan. So he starts with that, all sorts of things for you to fill in and to get clarity on. You know that clarity is such an essential part of vision. To have a foggy and a vague idea of what's out there and where you're heading, you're going to achieve a little bit. Better that you see something than nothing at all, but when you get it to that place where you have crystal clear clarity and you say that is exactly it, then it just does something. It distills something inside of you, and when you have that vision inside of you, you begin to recognize it out there. You begin to recognize the steps you need to take in order to get there. I could go on. So there's some of the key things that he's looking at. And he's saying get a vision for your family, get a vision for your business, get a vision for your health, for your finances, for how you spend your time, what sort of team do you want around you, all kinds of stuff. So where are we going to jump to next? Let's go jumping into the chapter on turning adversity into an advantage. And this is so key because if you create a story around all those failures that existed in your past, and if you think you've had failures in your past, I'm in the same camp too. Multiple things, if I dwelt upon them, would give me great reasons as to why I should not be stepping forward, why I should not be making any kind of progress. Oh well, it's because of this, it's because of what these people said to me, it's because I failed at that, and because it's quite clear I'm no good at that, and your stories can go on and on and on. It's not what happened happened to you or that you did that is the challenge here. It's the meaning that you attach to such things. And Lewis gives all sorts of great ways in which we can change our perspective, because perspective in this sense is everything. It really is. So he shows ways in which you can deal with minor adversities that you've dealt with in the past, that you have memory of. He's also shown ways in which you can deal with those major ones as well too. Several steps that he's got there around this. So he gives some exercises. Be aware of the adversity. Don't ignore it. Don't try and brush it under the carpet, but just be aware of it. Acknowledge it. That it really was there and it really was adverse. It might still be. Write it down or share it. Great way of actually getting clarity, of clearing out some of that fuzzy thinking that really doesn't help us. Writing stuff down really, really does help us to create words and get definition around it. And as we do that, our thinking processes do change than just keeping it as a vague feeling in the back of our head somewhere. Step 3 is acknowledge yourself. Acknowledging your own personal value, whatever has happened to you, whatever failings you have actioned, or whatever failings you have caused, then acknowledging the good things about yourself is so key. Acknowledging your own personal identity is great. So he's got things to say about that. He's got things to say about expressing your gratitude. You might not be able to be thankful for the tough stuff that's coming your way, but you can be thankful for a lot of other things, and that gratitude can really give you strength and power. If you're really brave, you can even give thanks for the things that are tough themselves, because you see them as a springboard to something greater. Step 5, reconnect to your vision and start taking action. So that's key. Vision is key to everything. As we've said before, nothing starts without vision. So those are 5 key steps to overcoming adversity. Every chapter again ends with a coaching tip. Starts with grounding, ends with coaching. The one at the end of this chapter says, learn to fall in love with adversity. As a challenge. But champions and great people learn to do that. Don't fall into a victim mindset and look at it as the thing that's holding you back, but instead find the part of it that can launch you towards achieving your dreams. These failings, these adversities certainly can be the challenge that springs you, that propels you to the big step of success that's about to come your way. Where should we go next? Chapter 3 is cultivating a champion's mindset. I speak so much about mindset based upon your identity, your personal sense of identity. Your mindset is so key. And he touches on things like emotional intelligence. He touches on mindfulness. There's a whole bunch of exercises. This really is an action book. It just gives you suggestion after suggestion, recommendation after recommendation, step after step of things that you can put into your life as a daily practice. And of course there is that piece about turning out all of this into a habit, making these things habitual. He speaks about morning routine. Let me find that. What's that? That says exercise 1, take a picture of your body naked. Okay, but there's value in doing that, and he goes into that in Master Your Body. I'm skipping quickly on because I wanted to find the bit on the 28-day morning routine challenge. Small changes lead to big shifts. What you do when you wake up sets your pace for the day. He goes into an example of an admiral, a Navy admiral, who spoke about the practice of making your bed as soon as you get up in the morning. And you kind of think, what on earth is that about? What's that got to do with being great and achieving so much in life? It's interesting what he has to say about that. Get the book and read it. So he says, choose from one of the following to do every morning before you check your email or phone or do any work whatsoever. These are some of his suggestions. Spend 30 minutes writing as soon as you wake up, journaling your goals, free writing from your heart, writing about your vision, your struggles, your dreams. Just get it out and get it onto paper. It makes a big, big difference. You know, I'm sometimes even lazier with that. I can't even be bothered to type nowadays. I've got an audio speech-to-text program, and once you've trained it up, some of these things are really quite good, and I just talk at my machine in the morning and it types it out for me. How lazy is that? But it's good. You have to train it for your morning voice, you know that? Make your bed, suggestion number 2. This is something I do every morning. Why? Buy the book and you'll realize why. Make a to-do list for the day. Good idea. Work out, stretch, or go for a walk. Sit down and eat breakfast. Actually, sit down and eat breakfast. Who does that these days? And there's other ideas besides as well. I'm going to round up, there's much more in this book as well, but I'm going to end on the bit which speaks about building a winning team. Because this has been such a key for me this year, is understanding the value of building a team around you in order to accelerate your success and achieve so much more. Because there is simply no way that you can achieve all the things that you have in your heart on your own. You are going to need to rely upon other people. You're going to need to encourage them to join you, to motivate them. Some will do this because you pay them to. Some will do it because they are just so heart and soul in alignment and in agreement with what it is that you're doing, that they will be happy to help out. Now, of course, you want them rewarded for that, but you can motivate them with a vision. If resources are lacking in your life, I would challenge you and encourage you that the vision that you have is not clear enough or it's not compelling enough. One, for yourself, but also for other people. If your vision is clear and compelling, other people will be drawn to that, the right people to support you going forward. Now, you don't just accept anybody who says, I'm willing to help. You need to choose carefully. But building around yourself a winning team is so important. And on page 180 in my version, surround yourself with greatness is the subtitle we've got here. Building a powerful team is obviously important. But how do you know the difference between a good team and a bad one? A bad team can destroy your dreams and pull you down. A good team can accelerate your success in a remarkable way. So he goes into a whole bunch of examples around that are well worth looking at. And yeah, I could go on. It's a great book. We've got 250 odd pages. One thing I really like about Lewis is the fact that his acknowledgements at the back is 4 pages long. And that just shows that this guy seriously does believe that it's not just him and his greatness, it's the people around him that has enabled him to do so much in his life. And it's a great book. So look, Lewis Howes, The School of Greatness, subtitled A Real World Guide to Living Bigger, Loving Deeper, and Leaving a Legacy, published by Rodale. And I don't think it's out on an audio version just yet. I'll get that as soon as it is. But it's a great book. It's a really good read, and it is so practical. Anybody, starting wherever they are, can take some of these lessons, put them into practice, and find themselves just getting into a better place. It helps you to become an authentic person. It helps you to focus in on the things that really will cause success to be a natural part of your life. And I highly recommend it. Go get yourself this book and buy some copies for your friends too. Well, the sun's come out here in Brighton this morning, which is a good thing because it was -3 when I woke up this morning. Before I leave this place and before I leave you, I just had to make mention to you of the new leadership development program that I'm now producing with former members of the British SAS. We have 3 days of remarkable exercises, transformational experiences that will help you develop a remarkable self-awareness to understand who you are. Essentially, you don't know who you are until you've been to the edge, and this is what these guys have developed with me, a remarkable leadership program that will take you to the edge of who you are. You're going to be safe, but you're going to be challenged, and these are the things that we're going to be leading you through over these days. If you're interested to find out more, get on to teamme.com. You can hear me over the waves, teamme.com, and find the details there. Thanks.